Ever since I posted my Mean Girls 2 video, I've been trying to decide which movie I should tear to shreds next. But it's tricky, because while I hate a lot of movies, I want to start this series by reviewing movies I assume other people hate as well. And this morning, I saw a comment recommending I do Legally Blonde 2. Now they may have been referring to the Red, White, and Blonde sequel, but when I saw their comment, a wave of war flashbacks washed over me. Like, honestly, I had forgotten this movie even existed, but a surge of hatred has been reborn within me. I'm doing Legally Blonde with the twins. And before you say it, I do realize this is another straight-to-DVD spin-off sequel that feels more like a reboot of an iconic film I cherish. I mean, the pattern isn't lost on me, but I swear there are many sequels that I enjoy, and this film, along with Mean Girls 2, fail on their own merit. It may be true that I wouldn't care how incompetent they are had they not been sequels, but that wouldn't make them any less incompetent. So here's the thing. I was prepared to go a little easier on this film because I genuinely thought it was a Disney Channel movie. Like, in my Mean Girls review, I mentioned numerous times that it feels like a Disney Channel original movie, but I've thought ever since I saw Legally Blondes that it was actually, literally, a Disney Channel original movie. But as I've been researching, I've found that it's completely unaffiliated with Disney. I must have watched it on freaking ABC Family or something when I was like 11. Allow me to clarify something. I worry people got the impression that I hate Disney Channel movies in my last review. That is not the case. The thing is, Disney Channel movies know exactly what they are. They may be cheesy, overdramatic, flamboyant, but that's what's expected from them. They're made for kids who naturally gravitate towards eccentric comedy and in-your-face themes. But movies like Mean Girls and Legally Blonde are absolutely not like that. They fall into a young adult chick flick comedy genre. And believe it or not, you cannot make a sequel to a young adult film, dumb it down into a kid's movie, and expect anyone to like it. You just can't. Anyway, before we get into the nitty-gritty details, there are a couple things we have to discuss. Firstly, I watched the trailer and couldn't help but notice a little title card that said Reese Witherspoon Presents, which I found strange because what does that even mean? Like, the last time I checked, Reese Witherspoon was not a production company. Like, freaking Paramount, Lionsgate, 20th Century Fox, and Reese Witherspoon. Then I watched an interview with the leads and they were like,
and Reese Witherspoon is presenting the movies.
As if at the premiere, Reese showed up and was like, here it is, folks, or something. Through my in-depth research on Google, I found that she was listed as a producer on Wikipedia, but I highly doubt she actually did anything for this project. Secondly, we have to talk about these twins. You know, Jessica and Janice from like 7 episodes of The Sweet Life and nothing else. You know the only reason they ended up with even minimal success is because they're twins. I mean, when their acting career died, they did music for a while, but it was...
You're hotter than a jalapeno. My lingo is bilingual. So here's my number.
pretty bad. Like...
You make me go piñatas.
Really bad. As far as their acting goes, it's not as bad as Tess from Camp Rock, but it's certainly not good. Whatever, now I'm going to rewatch this garbage movie and give you a play-by-play so you don't have to. Sorry for the subtitles, by the way. It's just that good quality torrents of the straight-to-DVD Legally Blonde spin-off aren't really at high demand. Okay, so first of all, they give them character title cards, which is one of my biggest movie pet peeves ever. Don't get me wrong, it's totally okay if on-screen text is incorporated throughout an entire film, but showing up solely at the beginning is the laziest exposition possible. It's like when narration shows up at the beginning and end and nowhere in between. Lazy. They also felt the need to clarify Annie hates speaking in public and Izzy hates Tess because both of those situations are conveniently reincorporated in the movie. The creators must have missed the day of 6th grade English when you learn the show don't tell rule.
Flip and wave.
I suppose the flip and wave is meant to be the equivalent of the bend and snap, which is just an embarrassing downgrade.
I do hope we can make right what is clearly an injustice.
Also, is that not an awkward time to wave, like after you've already said a couple sentences to him?
I miss Mum, Izzy. I can't believe it's been 2 years since we lost her. I miss Mum too, Annie.
Well, that was subtle. Do they think that's how regular people talk? There must have been a smoother way to introduce their dead mother to the plot. Like, would Izzy looking at the picture not have been enough? Did she really have to randomly reaffirm that she misses her mom to her sister? And they don't even stop there.
Things have been so grey in this flat since Mum died.
Just to make sure the audience knows their mom is dead and not just on vacation or something, they had to be like, I miss her because she died. By the way, why do they even need a dead mother? I swear it never becomes important to the plot or character development. It's almost like they threw that in there just because they'd seen other movies and were like, yeah, protagonists have dead parents, that's just how it works.
Ah, it's a palace!
This is a step up from Buckingham Palace.
These two quotes happened literally 30 seconds apart from each other. We get it.
Els, cousin Els, El.
Cousin Elle. Cousin Elle.
I get why they'd want to force Elle's name down our throat to desperately connect this movie to the real Legally Blonde, but enough is enough.
Even though the stitching is subpar, the colour is off by at least one shade from the designer's runway prototype, I'm still willing to negotiate a reasonable price.
Come back when you can pay full price, like big people.
Are we supposed to think that cashier is rude? Girl's just doing her job, and these annoying twins came in thinking they could get a reduced price for being snobs? Nope.
It's a school wardrobe that's going to make the world stand up and say, crap!
By my watch, you'll have met your first friend in 3, 2.
I'm not here to be your friend. I'm only here to educate you.
They just did this scene swap irony joke twice in literally a minute. It wasn't funny either time.
Elwood's made a mockery of these hallowed halls with her fashion arts elective.
I'm extremely bothered by the overacting of this headmistress. Look at her go.
Inputting data makes me nod. Not me. I can input data all day long.
You into computers?
Wow, they have so much in common, I want to vomit. I guess when they were casting, they just went fishing through minor Sweet Life characters. Also, believe it or not, this isn't the girl from Victorious. I know, they literally look the same, but they're different people. I guess I actually recognized her from Drake and Josh. Okay, so here they are displaying that she has stage fright, which makes it even more ridiculous that they mentioned that in her title card. Actually, those title cards are seeming more and more ridiculous because most of those facts have been expressed through dialogue already. So why?
Am I being cut? Is this the joke? Because I'm not laughing.
I touched on this in my Mean Girls 2 video, so I'm not going to get into it, but girls like this don't exist.
Okay, everybody settle down.
Nobody would laugh. If someone bombs a presentation, everyone cringes silently. It is not a comedy show.
This is her house, actually. Certainly couldn't afford a palace like this on my professor salary.
Oh, sure.
That's why I'm so glad that Izzy and Annie have a good friend like you to study with.
Because it's very important they work hard to keep the scholarships.
Convenient that their dad has a big mouth, otherwise she never would have known.
If you wear a hot bathing suit, I promise, you are going to make a splash.
I'm definitely not the only one who saw that coming.
I can't believe Tiffany turned out to be a total snake in the grass.
They can't believe it? She hasn't exactly been subtle.
We were too blinded by Tiffany's bling. Can you ever forgive us?
So they learned that lesson? Is the movie over? Oh. I really hate the song in the back of this scene.
Article 8, paragraph 3 expressly states the uniform shirt must be monochromatic.
Monochromatic means a color scheme composed of one singular color. The uniforms were never monochromatic. I thought maybe she meant achromatic, which would mean absent of color, so only black and white, but that was never the case either. Either way, she's wrong. Yeah. I took an interior design class.
000 key. It's a master key that unlocks every door in the school.
Okay, that exists, sure. You know, I actually don't hate this Annie and Chris romance, but it's unfortunate that they spend so much time on the useless false love triangle thing instead of actually developing their relationship. Let me break down this scene for you, because believe me, it's confusing. First, we must understand that Annie and Chris are mutually crushing on each other. They haven't necessarily admitted to this, But Izzy is aware of both of their affections. Therefore, Izzy tries to coach Chris on how to get with Annie, okay? Now that that's established, watch this scene.
She is really clever. Izzy, Annie, Izzy, Annie, Izzy, Izzy!
What's up, backstabber?
I beg your pardon? I saw you and Chris behind the bleachers at lunch exchanging breath mints. With no hands. I don't know what you're talking about.
Drop the act, Izzy.
I'm not.
Only a troll would steal her sister's boyfriend. Now, 13th Amendment.
Just look how happy Annie is with Chris.
Okay, I have a lot to say. Firstly, why does Drake's girlfriend clearly identify both of them before this master plan of hers? Like she's walking up to them, pointing them out, and saying their names rather loudly, literally when she's about to execute a plan that relies on her pretending that she can't tell them apart. I get that in real life, she was written doing this so that the audience will know she's aware of their real identities, but did they really have to do it this way? Would it not have been more logical to bring back the girl from Camp Rock 2 and make her whisper something like, okay, remember, that one is Izzy and that one is Annie, just for the sake of being logical? But that's not even the worst of it, because then she goes to Annie, but calls her Andy. It's clear, right? Like, I'm not mishearing it. She literally says Andy. And here's the thing. I don't think Drake's girlfriend accidentally said it wrong. IMDb has it listed as a goof, but I think it was intentionally written this way because I think the joke is supposed to be that she just said her name correctly and is intentionally pronouncing it wrong, which is dumb and hard to understand on its own. But then when you consider how the rest of the scene goes, it gets even more ridiculous because you can't just call her by her mispronounced name right before you pretend that you think she's her sister. Where's the logic in that? Hey Andy, hi, Izzy, I can't believe you would do that to Annie.
What?
I overheard Annie saying that she wasn't gonna let you drag her down with you.
Ah, yeah, sure. Makes sense. She's only my twin sister that I'm attached to by the hip, but you seem way more trustworthy. You've never been dishonest with me in the past. By the way, what even is this girl's motive? I guess I've sort of assumed that it's because she's intimidated by their popularity, but they haven't actually said or alluded to that in the movie. They just show up and she's like, I'm gonna ruin their lives.
Dude, this thing has a GPS system. Look, we're right there. Let me see.
2009 when a GPS on a phone was cool. Every scene with this headmistress is like 80% worse than the rest of the movie, and I hate the rest of the movie. I'm beginning to think this movie has no real theme. Like, in the beginning it seemed like it would be a story about refusing to sacrifice your morals for popularity, but they learned that lesson in the first half hour. Then it seems like it was about, I don't know, trusting your sister, but they resolved that in the next half hour. Now it's just this trial, and it seems to lack purpose. This isn't really a story about anything.
Especially once you've been prepped by me and my crack legal team.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious. Good joke. Good job, folks.
We will humbly represent the student body of Pacific Prep.
Who asked them to be the prosecution? Wait, now that I'm thinking about it, this whole court situation seems so bizarrely unrealistic. Like, maybe the handbook had something about defending yourself, but surely that would mean some faculty members and the accused, like, sit in a conference room and discuss it. Not this. The crazy thing about this is that nowadays Izzy would just text Annie like, yo sis, they locked me in the bathroom. I'm not sure how she managed to flush with her foot in the toilet and her hands nowhere near the handle. I am not surprised standing on a pallet of toilet paper didn't work out for her.
Enough! Stop with the clicking already! Okay, I did it.
No way would everyone clicking their pens actually get him to confess. No way.
Well, so what if I did it?
Okay, I
Now she's just gonna confess too? This is all so convenient.
It's not over, girls. There's a new brunette in charge.
Wait. Did they expect to get a sequel? The fact that they don't kiss at the end solidifies why I thought this was a Disney movie. Like, why? It's not like they had any standard to uphold. I get why Disney Channel doesn't do it. Why couldn't... This is an ABC Family Legally Blonde sequel. Honestly, this is the most annoying thing about the whole movie for me, the fact that they didn't even kiss at the end. That's like, on Disney Channel, why didn't they kiss? I'm so glad it's over. I kind of want to make more movie review videos like this, so please leave suggestions in the comments of movies I should do. Like, please, I'll actually look at them. I did this one because it was a request by one person.